November 22nd, 1963. Dealey Plaza, Dallas, 12:30 p.m. A rifle cracks across the plaza. But in this timeline, the gunman sneezes. The sun gets in his eyes. The bullets hit the pavement, shattering concrete, not bone. President Kennedy ducks. The limo speeds away. JFK survives. We all think this is the happy ending. We imagine a world where Camelot never ended. No Vietnam War, peaceful civil rights, a golden age. But I'm here to burst that bubble. That bullet didn't just kill a man, it created a saint. If JFK had lived, you wouldn't remember him as a hero. You would remember him as the failure who broke America. Without the martyrdom, the secrets come out. The debilitating health issues, the mafia connections, the reckless affairs, and the wars. Welcome to the timeline where John F. Kennedy grew old, got messy, and fell from grace. Welcome to the Nuellverse. Let's look at the immediate aftermath. JFK survives the assassination attempt. He becomes instantly untouchable. The sympathy vote is insane. In the 1964 election, he absolutely demolishes Barry Goldwater. It's the biggest landslide in history. He believes he has a mandate from God. But here is the first crack in the armor. In our timeline, Lyndon B. Johnson, LBJ, used JFK's death to guilt-trip Congress into passing the Civil Rights Act. He bullied them, saying, "Do it for the fallen president." Alive? JFK doesn't have that ghost power. He was always cautious about civil rights. He was terrified of losing the Southern white vote. Without the tragedy to unite the country, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 stalls in the Senate. The Southern Democrats filibuster it to death. The protests in the streets turn violent much faster. By 1965, American cities like Detroit and Watts are burning. And JFK, not LBJ, is the one being blamed for the chaos. The myth of JFK is that he was a progressive warrior. The reality? He was a pragmatic politician who hated rocking the boat. Surviving Dallas stripped him of his halo and forced him to play dirty politics, alienating the very people who loved him. Now, the elephant in the room: Vietnam. Oliver Stone's movie JFK wants you to believe Kennedy was about to pull out of Vietnam. Historians disagree. JFK was a cold warrior. He was terrified of being called soft on communism. In our timeline, he was the one who increased advisors from 700 to 16,000. If he lives, he can't just walk away. When the North Vietnamese attack American assets in 1965, JFK has to retaliate to protect his image. He escalates. Maybe not as clumsily as LBJ, but he still sends combat troops. The Kennedy War begins. The body bags start coming home, and the anti-war movement starts chanting, "Hey, hey, JFK, how many kids did you kill today?" This destroys the youth culture's love for him. The cool young president becomes the man. The establishment. The disconnect between the hippie generation and Camelot grows toxic. He isn't the icon of hope anymore. He's just another warmonger in a suit. And remember, JFK was a sick man. Addison's disease, chronic back pain. He was on a cocktail of amphetamines and painkillers just to function. The stress of a wartime presidency without the martyr protection would have crumbled him physically. By 1967, the public starts to notice the shaking hands, the sweating, the absences. In our world, J. Edgar Hoover, head of the FBI, kept JFK's secrets because he respected the office and the dead. But in a world where JFK is losing popularity, the sharks begin to circle. The stories about Marilyn Monroe, Judith Exner, the mob boss's girlfriend, and the interns, they leak. Imagine a Watergate-level scandal, but about sex and mafia ties, hitting the news in 1967. The family man image evaporates. Jackie Kennedy, humiliated publicly, might even file for divorce, the first Lady to do so. The illusion of Camelot shatters into a million tabloid pieces. By the 1968 election, JFK is a lame duck. He doesn't run for a second term or is forced out by his own party. Robert F. Kennedy, RFK, tries to run to save the family name, but the brand is toxic. Richard Nixon wins easily, promising to clean up Kennedy's mess. JFK leaves office not as a hero, but as a cautionary tale. It's a harsh truth, but tragedy has a way of freezing people in their best moments. Because he died at 46, JFK is forever young, forever full of potential, forever the what if. We project our own hopes onto him. If he had lived, he would have just been a man. A flawed, sick, complicated man dealing with an impossible world. Sometimes the hero dies so the legend can live. Do you think he could have turned it around, or was Camelot always doomed to fall? Tell me your theory in the comments. And if you want to explore more timelines we missed, click that subscribe button. I'm Nuellverse, and I'll see you in the next reality.